studying. For those that ain't worried about the wrong things, just focusing on, okay, what is this man telling me to go read? Okay, I'm going to read the Bill of Exchange Act. Okay, I'm going to read the Truth in Lending Act. Okay, literally, you should go read those things, family. All right, one of my favorite ones is 15 USC 1605. All right, that's the termination of a finance charge. I'm going to say that again. All right, 15 USC 1605 is one of my favorite sub chapters. Hold on, he just hit me up. Yes, if you are not already on, you can. Sorry, okay. He just told me he just got home, y'all. So we're gonna give him a few minutes to get situated. All right, we're not gonna rush him. All right, because there's no need to rush. He just got home. I know he got little ones and his wife. All right, so we're gonna let him get himself together, and if he can come on and grace us with his experience, family. Because again, I had a consultation with this man yesterday. Okay, and literally, he was telling me, okay, yeah, I went to the. I'm not gonna tell you too much, but everything he was saying was lining up with everything he was supposed to do. All right, he's cool, calm, collected. He didn't stress. All right, it wasn't a situation where he needed the vehicle. It was just a situation. Hey, let me just see what I can do when I go here, family. All right, but back to what I was talking about. One of my favorite sub chapters is 15 USC 1605. All right, somebody said German law does not permit the usage of electronic bill of exchange and promissory note. These documents must still be produced in writing. Both documents fall under the scope of the German bill of exchange. Okay, cool. It's no electronic bill. It's no electronic act. Because I know over here we got the electronic signature act, meaning everything electronic is basically looked at as if you would have wrote it with your own hand. All right, so. And again, family, I'm not from Germany. I'm not too familiar with Germany laws and codes. All right. But if they say, hey, you can't do anything electronic, but you can still produce it in writing, that's simply mailing, family. That's the oldest form of communication is mail. OK, and I'm sure every single country that's, shall I say, allows the citizens to exercise their rights, because we know some folks are around the world and they don't have this ability, family. They don't have this ability to be able to exercise their rights, go outside their door and literally go enforce their rights. Some places you'll get killed. Some places they look at it like you're going up against the government. All right, some folks say I'm glitching. I don't know why I'm glitching. I got all bars. We locked and loaded. Am I glitching on everybody? Am I glitching on everybody's? I don't know why we glitching. Damn. I don't know why we glitching. All right, a couple of people say they glitching. I got full bars. I don't know. All right. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to post whatever it is that we missed. I'm going to be able to post it. Okay. But yeah, one of my favorite sub chapters is 15 USC 1605. It talks about the termination of a finance charge. Now, as y'all see, the title of this live is Things to Know When Going to a Dealership. Did you know? All right, but before I ask you that, let me ask y'all a question. Let me get y'all active right quick. Comment 1 if you went to the dealership, got a vehicle, and you know deep down in your heart, you know you didn't read the contract. Just comment 1. I'm gonna go ahead and comment 1 because I know I've done that plenty of times. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and comment 1. Okay, now let me ask y'all a question. The ones that's comment 1, did you feel rushed? Some of us don't even really. So you got a few moments to really think about the moment when you bought the car and things like that. Because some of us, we wasn't even realizing what was going on. It was so fast. All right, but did you feel rushed? I feel like this is intervention right now. Did you feel rushed by any chance? Okay, once they gave you the contract. All right. Did you feel like you could have took that contract with you with home? Or did they just really skip to the end of the contract and be like, blah, 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 blah. Just sign here, and the keys is yours. Was it brought to you that way? Again, this is not legal advice. This is just experience in an intervention in open therapy. Okay? All right? Did you feel rushed? I felt rushed. I remember my first time going down to the dealership, all right, because I had been buying so many lemons up to that point. All right, anybody that knows me before any of this knows I used to keep a lemon. All right, I kept a lemon. I remember having about 4 lemons. All right, this car was good at night. This car was good for short drives. This car was good for long range. I was all over the place. All right, buying cars for $600, $700. And I remember getting a steady job and literally was able to finance a car. And I remember, all right, this is when I lived in Seattle. I was so happy, family. And anybody that doesn't know about Seattle, it rains a lot in Seattle. All right, but I'm coming from South Carolina, moving to Seattle. All right, and I wanted a convertible. My dream was to live on the West Coast, drop my top back and bump my music. That was my goal. So I get to Seattle, all right, by way of, I'm working on airplanes out there at Everest, working on the Boeings. If anybody know about Boeing, y'all know about Everest. Seattle is a big manufacturer out there. All right. So anyway, okay, I finally get enough money to go ahead and finance the car. All right. I see on the internet, there's a convertible. There's a Mustang convertible. All black on black. I'm like, what? Hell yes. I call them up. They say all they need is $1,000 down. I'm like, I got that. All right. So I walk down there, family, because remember, I don't have a car at this time. So I walk down there. The weather was feeling good out. It's the weed legal in Seattle. So, I stopped at the dispensary, rolling up, smoking on the way down to the dealership. All right. I walk all the way there. I get there. Because I done told my family I'm about to get a Mustang convertible. All right. The salesman kept saying, are you sure you want this? Because in Seattle, it rains a lot. So I get there. Do y'all not know this man took me from about to get a Mustang to now me leaving with a Hyundai Sonata? No offense to the Hyundai Sonata family, okay? All right, because I was driving around that car and it did some great things for me. All right, but as a person that didn't give a damn about a Hyundai Sonata, okay? And I'm young. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, yo, you told me the Mustang, man. Like, what? And he just kept saying, yeah, but seeing is your credit. And I'm like, I thought you already ran my credit. Like, what's going on? Okay. Lo and behold, he got me from the Mustang to a damn Hyundai Sonata. Okay. So I get the Hyundai Sonata. I'm signing things. I ain't reading nothing. Okay. Not reading nothing. All right, I remember they saying, hey, you got to put insurance on it. And then I remember saying, hey, we do know some people that we can link you with. All right. And I just remember just believing everything this man said because I'm thinking he got my best interest. I'm young. Okay. I don't got no friends in Seattle. All right. I'm out there by my damn self. Okay. So anybody that looked like they was helping me, I draw towards them. Okay. All right. Rather it's right or wrong. Okay. So, but I felt like, because this is my first time getting a car through a dealership. All right. I really trusted this man. Okay. He's telling me things like, hey, I tell you what, we can't get you the Mustang, but follow me. Come with me. I'm following. I'm like, we can't get the Mustang. What would you about to put me in? A Challenger? Because what you about to put me in? All right. We walk over to the Hyundais. We get to the Hyundai and he's like, I can put you in this today. All right. And I'm like, yo, I'm trying to process everything. I done walked up here. I'm already high. Okay. I'm high. I'm already high from smoke because, again, weed is legal in Seattle. Okay. So I'm feeling good. I'm smoking on the way up there. So, man, he blew my high entirely. Okay. I'm really, because I'm a stubborn person. So as he's telling me, hey, we can put you in this right now. You can leave today. And I'm like, yo, what? I'm so stubborn. I'm like, man, I don't want no Hyundai. Man, I'll walk back home. But something in me was like, man, you need a car, man. You need a car. So how many of y'all felt that, meaning, damn, I didn't get what I want, but I need a car. I'm just going to take how many of y'all feel like that? Comment too. Because I know you did. You was going through the same thing. We go through the same things, family. All right, we go through the same things. The only difference is a lot of y'all wasn't high, was you? What was you? You wasn't high, was you? You wasn't. You was in your right mind, and they still took you from here to here. We're all in this together, family. We're all in this together. Okay? So I leave with that Hyundai Sonata. They tell me, hey, you got to get insurance first. And I'm like, what? Oh, what? Hey, man, where's all these hidden fees coming from? Again, I'm uninformed, okay? But I'm just like, I'm sober as hell. And I'm like, yo, what? My man, you told me all I had to do was pay $800 and I could drive off the lot with this Mustang. Now I got to pay $1,000. Now I got to pay $1,000. I'm leaving with a Hyundai Sonata and I got to put insurance. Okay, one thing I noticed was he kept upselling me. And I'm just doing whatever it takes because I done walked all the way up here. I got to leave with a car. So I'm like, okay, man, I'm on the budget, man. Like he ate up all my money. Okay, I end up getting in-house insurance. Okay, with their guy, then learned that they got paid from that too. And I'm like, yo, what in the world? Man, what 66 playmaker skills was on E. I had no playmaking skills. Man, that dude was a good salesman. I felt like he felt sorry for me, and I started saying, man, it ain't you, Jim. It ain't you, man. I'm sitting there looking out for him, making excuses for him, and saying, yeah, my credit wasn't the best, so, I mean, man, you can do it. Man, at least you got me something. And how many of y'all done did that before? You start feeling so like, you did what you can. Man, we're so low as a people, y'all. The reason why we're low is because we have no negotiation skills. All right, I see Sean is in the building. Sean, just let me know when you're ready. I know you just got home. Just let me know when you're ready, so those folks can hear your experience. All right, because what Sean did, family, literally took his time. All right, he took that contract home, read over it. How many of y'all took y'all contracts home and actually read over it? All right, how many of y'all did that? All right, you know how many folks won't let you leave the dealership? Well, they'll say it's against policy for us to let you leave it. And you know how many of us don't know how to articulate ourselves? And we'd be like, oh well, they said it's their policy, so I couldn't take it with me. Do you not know your rights, family? If they told me that, saying, hey, you can't leave with this, and I'm like, well, I feel like I'm being forced to sign it. If I can't leave it and go look it over with my legal team. My legal team is not here right now. So I don't think that's like talking to the police knowing you got a lawyer. Would you sit into that interrogation room, that negotiation room with no lawyer? That's if you're... Now, granted, those folks that's following me, I get it, but we talking about, okay, majority people, okay? All right, it's not good to talk to the police or any federal agents without an attorney or without having capacity to contract. All right, so you never want to just rush, family. I know you want the car. All right, I know you want that car. But the thing is, you have to take that contract home and read it. At least show them that you're attempting to read it. At least put some pressure on them. Okay? Some of y'all might not even read it when you take it. Just put some pressure on them. Just take it home anyway. If they say, hey, I can get you driving today, you ain't got to take it. Say, hey, I know you can get me going today, which is great. But I still want to take this home, talk it over with my family. All right, because I don't make any decisions without my family. Y'all know how easy that is to articulate. But y'all know how scared we are. All right. So, okay, Sean, say you ready. All right, family, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and bring you up. Okay, go ahead and bring you up. All right, we didn't plan this, family. Like, literally, I was in a consultation with Sean. I asked him, hey, man, can you mind telling this same story tomorrow on live? All right, and he said, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and bring Sean up, family. Make sure y'all put y'all ears in. Please don't be asking a bunch of questions, family. Please don't be asking a bunch of questions. Just listen. Just listen to what he's done. Clearly he's studied. All right, clearly he's not a beginner. What's going on, Sean? Peace and love, brother.
What's going on, man? Can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear, man. Peace. First of all, I want to say I appreciate your family for taking the time out. I know you're a married man with kids. You got some on the way as
Yeah,
well. Congratulations.
thank you.
All right. But like we talked yesterday, man, because you blew my mind just seeing how you was able to articulate yourself, seeing how you was cool, calm, collected, because that's what it takes. And like we talked about yesterday, you're an ex-athlete as well. All right. You understand certain things that you received from the corporation, you had to read and understand, like, okay, let me use this like film. They sent me this. Let me read and see what this means. Okay, oh, this is what it is. It's like film, family. All right, I'm an ex-athlete as well. So me and Sean is like, we're the same person. All right, that's why I try to tell most people, if you have dealt with any adversity dealing with a team sport family, this journey is for you. All right, this journey is for you. But Sean, go ahead and let them know. You can like say, tell them what you want. All right, you can leave out personal things.
Sure.
But what happened as far as the dealership? How did the conversation go? What were some of your feelings? All right, because I know a lot of folks is eager to see what this thing looks like.
For sure, man. I appreciate that and I appreciate you. I had to get a second car because, I already have one, it's a new car, it's a 2020, and I haven't taken any actions on that as far as getting remedy or using your courses or anything on my current car
Hmm.
because I'm working on other things and I'm just, taking an educational route and I'm trying to knock things out one at a time. However, I I decided probably about 2 months ago that I was going to go get a second car with this process with no intention of sending in any cash payment and just using my rights to transfer the interest inside the account. So I went in with that mindset already. And, after college, I sold cars in a dealership for a while. So I kind of was familiar with the process. And, I bought a couple new cars before and, traded them in for the
Yeah.
next one, whatever. And so I was familiar with that process. And so going in, and if I have to tell anybody, the main thing that helped me during the whole step, from walking into the dealership and picking a car to getting sent back to the finance office to sign the paperwork, um, the thing that helped me the most was looking at my other contract. So if you have a car contract, or if you know obviously, if you know anyone, say, hey man, let me see a copy of your contract, and look for the part that says before you sign, it says don't sign this until you are able to take it and review it. And it literally says that. So I was just going to use that against them because I know what it feels like to go into the finance office and have that paperwork slid in front of you.
Hmm.
And, it's kind of like an unspoken pressure and like an assumption that you're just going to go
Thanks.
and sign it, but you don't have to, and you're not supposed to actually. And so all of those, I think, it's weird. In North Carolina, they call it some type of credit sale. They don't even call it a car loan or nothing. It's called a credit sale.
Facts.
And so all of these contracts, they look the same. And when you read your CarMax contract, it was just like my Hyundai Motor Finance contract. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Um, and there's always going to be a section that says, by signing this, you're stating that you were able to take this and review it. And so, yes, I went in there, and I'll give you the story, but I just wanted people to know that that was probably the main thing
Oh
that
yeah,
did it.
Bill, man,
What?
Bill, man, Bill.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That
bro.
was probably the main thing that did it, was using their own contract against them or showing it and standing on what they said. And
Hmm.
so the finance manager, I told him, hey, before I sign this, I would like to take it and review it. Let me take it home tonight, which I'll tell you right now, car people don't want to hear that,
At all.
because they believe that the sale is going to disappear, because that's just the mindset and that's what most people do. But we're not going in like a normal buyer, or someone who's going to walk away. We're going in to pick exactly the car that we want,
Exactly.
and to use our knowledge and our rights to to get out the door then start working on that account, because it doesn't stop there, obviously. So so yeah, I went back to the finance office and I told him, hey, I would like to take it and review it. He goes, oh, you don't want to sign it? They start doing their thing. And I say no, and I lift up his own contract that he slid in front of me, and it's bold letters with a circle around it, and
Damn.
it says, before you sign this, you agree that you were able to take it. And I showed him, it's like, look, it says I'm supposed to take this and review it. And so I just want to do exactly what your contract says.
Facts.
So,
Exactly.
and that was the
Exactly.
problem. Okay. So another thing that I did to kind of help benefit me is I went on the 30th of the month. For like 2 weeks, I texted the sales guy, I got to know him, and I picked out exactly the car I want, and I didn't let them move me into a lower car. Anytime they mentioned income, because I didn't, they had all my application stuff on file from previous cars.
Yeah.
So it was weird. They didn't ask, I didn't get no paper app. I didn't get to authorize anything. The man just ran it without even, when I said I was good to go.
Mm.
Crazy. So I never even saw the application this time, but that's probably because I had been there before. But keep in mind, I've never done anything like this before. I mean, I
Yeah.
went in there, I went in there to pay it like like the normal way that we all were taught to pay for our cars. So, okay. So I went in at the end of the month because I knew car dealerships, they're trying to close as many deals before the month ends,
Exactly.
right? So I wanted to have that pressure on them and not on me. And they knew I'd been there for a couple weeks talking about it. So when the time came, guys, when you give them your application, just make sure they tell you whether you've been approved or not. Because he kept wanting to mention my income. He's like, do you have income?
Mm-hmm.
And here's why, because he knows I already have a car and he knows what my income is. Because I work a full-time job. He knows what my income is, and he knows that this payment is not in my budget. That's how
Mm.
he's looking at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I already, I don't mind saying it. My one of my car payments is like $500 or $600, and this one was going to be like double that because I got as much car as I could. If I'm going to go in using
Yeah,
my
you
rights, I got
say you got all the bells and
fully
whistles. I mean,
loaded.
you say you.
Yeah, everything. Captain's chairs in the back seat, third row, moonroof, sunroof, air, heated and air conditioned
Mhm.
seats. Why not? Right?
Why
That
not?
was my whole thing. And so he kept trying to like talk about, income. And I would say things like, hey man, he's like, oh, I'm actually using revenue from investments to pay for this. And I was using things like that because
Mm.
yeah. And then so what they do is once you give an application, they'll go back and they'll bring you a sheet of paper and they'll give you different payment options. And the more down payment you give them, the less your monthly payment's gonna be. And I learned from being in a dealership that for every $1,000 you put down, it's probably gonna be about $20, $30 off your payment. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
And so when he brought that to me, he didn't tell me I was approved or anything. He was like, and they're gonna do this to you guys too, because every car dealership is trained to do it, the sales process.
Exactly.
There's got to be something psychological to it or something because every dealership is going to do this process with the salesman and then the finance manager. If you give them trouble or ask too many questions, they might bring in the general manager in to shake your hand and be your friend and get you to do the deal. You know,
Yeah.
and another thing to keep in mind is, as they're trying to move me down cars or move me on a down payment, it's not like they're trying to commit fraud to me. They're just doing their jobs. They don't know what we're studying. They don't know what Hood Consumer Advisors. They don't never heard of you guys.
At
They don't
all.
have people coming in that with this type of capacity. And it's not like they were picking up on mine. They were picking up that I just knew what I was talking about. To where
Mhm.
the GM wanted to give me a job in the finance office when I was done. And it's like, well, I don't have, you don't go work at a dealership,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, of course. But you see how they like,
Don't.
man, I need to hire you. You know more than my guys. Damn.
Man, and it was funny because okay, so back to that, they'll put these payments in front of you, and they'll be like, circle one of these payments. Which one of these payments looks good to you? Circle one. And then I was looking, and it didn't have any $0 down payment. It just had 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, and I was like, well, hold on a second. I can't circle any of these because there's no, I'm not putting a down payment on this.
Mm.
And he was like, he said a couple things. He was like, well, not putting any money down, that could raise that payment up a whole bunch, because
But
it's
but
like,
he never said if you don't put a down payment, you're denied. He just said, hey, if you don't put a down payment, it's gonna raise your monthly.
exactly. Yeah. And that's what they try to, they're going to try to pull your focus off to different areas. Cause, even, and I'm telling you, like I was saying last night on our call, it really is just a war inside your own mind and your old beliefs. and you really, that's the hardest thing to step out of, because even while I was sitting in there knowing what I knew, the old back of my mind, Sean, was staring down at that like $950 payment. And it's like, are you really gonna do this? Are you really gonna do this? Um, so that's where I was. I was feeling that way, but on the outside, and I think this is important for anything. When it has to do with going in and buying a car, or dealing with your family at home, or working a job. A lot of times we go into these types of situations uncomfortable, so we'll either make ourselves smaller,
Mm-hmm.
you know or we'll have to chest up and inflate ourselves and be rude and act like they're the ones that are
Exactly.
violating our rights.
It's no in between. It's
They,
no medium.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that in between is kind of like just a slow, comfortable state, and that's where I kept myself in as I was going through this process. But anyways, I told them basically what I said was, hey, I see this. I need to see a payment for $0 down, because I want to keep this strictly on credit. I don't see a reason to put in cash. I see the payments, and if it goes up $20, that's fine. Just show me what them payments are, because, I see more benefit in me going straight credit. And he didn't really know how to respond to that, so he went and brought back a sheet with a $0 down payment, and literally, like, it wasn't even that much more.
Hey,
You
but you see, you saying something is what triggered him. Like, okay, it's like open sesame. If you don't say nothing,
yeah,
like, because imagine if you just sat there and said, "Okay, I'm gonna decide this payment," and I'm gonna be honest, Sean. A lot of people's probably listening. It's like, well, I didn't get no options. They just told me this is it. This is what I could do or not. So you gotta think. It's levels to it. The fact that they gave you options is how it's supposed to be done. They got to
yeah,
give you all options, but the fact you say, "Hey, wait a minute, what about the zero down
yeah.
option?" Mm.
Yeah, because at first he didn't want to show me that, and then because he was making up different reasons, and I was like, "Well, am I approved? I mean, are we dealing with an approval or not?" I was like, "Just let me see what this $0 down payment looks like,
Mm.
because I want to keep this strictly on credit. I think that's more beneficial to me. I'm not too worried if the payment's a little higher."
Facts.
So, and that's the method that they train us to do. So if someone's sitting you down at a dealership and they're not putting a graph in front of you with different down payments and different payment options, then you need to ask for it,
That's a bar,
because
family.
yeah,
I know it's so, Sean. I know so many people, and I know you talking like it's like second nature, but so many people listen like, damn, I don't never get no options when I go. It's they see my credit, they see my, and they say this is what they can do, and it's either take it or leave it. So the fact that you just said that, family, remember, y'all that's listening, when you go to a dealership, ask for those options. That's your right.
yeah.
But go ahead, my bad.
No, that's how it is. You'll get the intro, they'll come sit you in a car, and then they'll take you in the office and get all your information down. And if you let them run your credit, they're either going to say you're denied, or they're going to bring you in those, one of those squares to circle. Which one of your payments do you like best? And they make
Mm-hmm.
you choose right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so I'll get on to the next part then. So once we got past that, I went back to the finance office, because that's the last step. They want to do the insurance stuff, and they want to try to sell you on some extra things on the car. And the finance manager is the man that has that contract,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm financing through the dealer, I'm at a Hyundai dealership. I'm getting a brand new Santa Fe with the third row, and then
What
I'm
year? What year is
2020.
it?
Yeah, like the model had come out 2 weeks ago, and yeah, this was back, this was probably back in, this was back at the end of April. So, anyways, he brings me back there, and we start going through, and I'll be honest with you, because I know what you teach about the insurance and everything, um, but I'm trying to keep it on level A.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when I'm back there, I'm giving them the insurance information I already have. I was like, I'll handle the insurance bill when the insurance bill comes. Like,
Yeah.
we got, and then, but what I did do is added everything on that car, man. I mean, I added gap insurance. I added the rims were insured, the leather, if I dented it, if the kids, got boogers on it, whatever. Everything, I had everything added onto there, and it raised the payment, it raised the payment a little bit too, because, but like I said, I wasn't worried about that. I wanted to get started on this account right away.
Exactly.
And so yeah, man. Um, that contract came out, and I dropped a line on him that I was practicing. I was like, hey, I'm going to take this home because it says right here I need to take it and review it. And I started just pointing out the things on security interest to the finance guy. He didn't understand any of it. He didn't know what was in the contract. Just so you know, your finance guy is just a normal guy, and
Exactly.
and he doesn't know what the contract, what's in there, because he just is so used to people signing it
Exactly.
and then doing all his paperwork on the insurance, and he gets a commission for everything he sells you. So so I took it home, and that was around the time he did the contracts. What are we calling the class now?
Say it again.
What are we calling the class now? Contract, because is it still contracts
Oh,
exposed?
it's the benefits of reading your
That's
contract.
that's what I
Yeah.
meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
benefits of reading your contract. It's not as cool as contracts exposed, but yeah, uh, I hear you. I feel you, man. That class is very important. Y'all should read that so you can start learning about security interests, Google security interests,
Chat
that Henry R.
GPT.
That Henry R.
Yep.
Cheeseman book you got in there. So
Yep.
yeah, I can look it up because I got that book. I can look it up right there, and it tells you what a security interest is. And once you realize what that is, you realize that a collateral was required for you to have a security interest. And then you start reading the car contract, and it's telling them that you are giving them security interest. So the fact
Mhm.
that it even says that and that it exists is proof that your application is worth whatever it is that you need it for.
Exactly.
Man, it's terrifying. So okay, yeah, so that's what happened, guys, and the next day was the 31st. They're closing out the month. I'm coming in after work, making, the salesman is supposed to be off, like everybody's
Mhm.
to go home, and I'm going in there with the contract from the day before, and my revocation. So I typed out each point on, the security interest and how I revoked that permission. Uh,
Mhm.
and so uh, when I brought it there, gave them the contract, but they said that I had to send all those contract amendments to the bank. So I don't know if that's how it'll be for everybody, but the chances are that someone at that dealership is going to know what that contract amendment means is little.
Mhm.
Maybe it's little. And so here's what I did. I signed the contract as it was, okay? And I'm just telling you guys what I did. I don't know if this is the right route. I'm still
Yeah,
working
just tell
on
your
that. You know
experience.
what I mean?
Yeah, your experience.
I
Yeah.
did drive out with the car. So, and like you say, what was it that you say, that 9/10 of possession of law is
Is yeah, not possession is 9/10 of the law. So long as you get in your possession, hey, you
right,
have way more leverage than them.
right,
All right, but again, a lot of folks get it and lose it because they don't know how to articulate or put up a proper
right,
defense.
right. Okay. And so I took them that. They said, you're going to have to send this to the bank. So all I did, and this is just from, learning the classes and just being real diligent on studying the law, watching TV shows about court, just really just getting my mindset around
Mhm.
understanding law. What I did was I had a letter ready if they didn't accept it. And all the letter said was that I reserved all my rights to amend the contract, as a
Say that again, man. Please say it again for them.
I
Please say it again.
in case the dealership didn't like, because I didn't understand how they could, because I just understand where people are coming from and where the system is. I just
Hmm.
have, for some reason, I could zoom out and understand that before going in. So that's why I typed the letter up. It's just like a two-sentence letter
Hmm.
that I typed up with my information, the bank's information, and the dealership's information, and all it said was, I'm writing this to reserve all my rights to amend this contract. I tried to give this to the dealership, but they said to send it to the bank. And I asked the finance manager to sign it, but he wouldn't sign it.
Mm.
He wouldn't sign it. But he did email me a copy of it a couple of days later, so I have proof that he had it,
Okay. Okay.
So anyways, so signed it, and drived it away. Took it home, and and I started working. The very next day, I sent in the contract amendment to the bank.
Hmm.
And a few days go by, don't hear nothing. So I finally called him because I just wanted to make sure. And I also sent it to the indentured trustee, by the way. I forgot
Mm,
all about that because every time I tried to call Citi, and it was Citibank in New York, you
mm,
know. So
mm.
I think,
I'm
yeah,
sure Citibank of New York is a lot of folks is indentured.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
And I couldn't really get like, because I was going off their charter, you know, so I couldn't really figure out what number at Citibank to call. Every time I called, I would like it would just get to like some voicemail. It was some office or something. But anyways, never mind that. I sent it to the bank, and I called them and I said, hey, I just wanted to see if you guys had received, you know, my contract amendment because I wanted to talk about my contract. And at first he said no. And then I asked him to make sure. He's like, we haven't received anything. And I was like, well, can you please double check?
Mm.
Because I have a receipt here, you know, a green slip from the post office. It's like, so it says that you guys received this on May 6th, you know, because I sent it on probably May 1st.
Mhm.
Um, and then he comes back and he says, actually, yeah, we did receive it. And this is what he called it. I didn't call it this. He said, we received your contract revocations and it's been given to our care team. Okay. And so, and I was thinking about this story last night, and I need to tell it how it happened so everybody kind of
Oh
understands
yeah.
where I'm at now with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yes, and it's a little bittersweet of a story because it was like I was telling you last night, man. I mean, nobody in my family had a car this nice.
Mm.
I mean, it was beautiful. It was an awesome car. Unfortunately, within 10 days, you know, my wife totaled the car, and you know, we've all been in that situation where the light turns yellow and you got to make a decision. And that's how and you know that decision that she made, it just didn't work out for the best. Unfortunately, everybody was okay, but my brand new car, that the story that I just told y'all, that car was totaled within 10 days. And you know the funny thing about it is, before we got the car, you know, we knew we weren't going to commit payments on the car. We were going to strictly stand on business and our consumer rights, and we were going to get the car that way, or they were going to come get the car their
Mhm.
way.
Mhm. And like
And
you said,
so,
remember we was talking as far as you were saying, hey, I don't need this car, but I'm getting in this car for the contract. So
yeah,
when you was telling me, and it's like I say, it's very brave of you to even just say with the part that we talk about, that you said you
yeah,
wasn't partial, because
yeah.
I know that's personal. But as far as you got the vehicle, but it's like the universe took the vehicle away just to see if you really
Right,
about standing
right,
about the account, not the car, because the account is still going.
right.
The count is still going. So remember we talked about, yeah, that car is gone as far as with the insurance and things like that, but you can get a brand new car and we're still focusing on the account.
Right, right. So that's, you know, and so I'll go ahead and share with you
Yeah, go
how
ahead.
that process goes because, you know, ideally if you are going to get it, you know, wreck your car, you would want that to happen after you got the remedy on the car. And so, but let me explain it because it's also very helpful. That's what our mindset. Our mindset going in was, hey, this isn't about the car. This is about the account. And it was like turning into a sarcastic motto,
Mm.
but then the accident happened, and then my wife would, because I was so devastated, and my wife would come to, hey, remember, it's about the
It's
account.
about the
It's not about the car, you know, because
facts.
obviously, you know, she felt way worse about it than I did, obviously, you know what I
We're
mean?
glad, we're just
Um,
glad everybody's okay, for sure, for sure.
yeah, the car was, yeah, it kept her, car kept her safe, you know, and I was also glad because at first, you know, my capacity grew over time because when I first thought about the car, I was going to say, oh, I'm going to trade my car in and get this one and get remedy on it. But then when I was going, I was like, hold on a second, like, why would I give them a car
Exactly.
when I already know like how I'm going to go about my current car in the future? Like, I just want to play this game with the new
Mm-hmm.
car. I'm not going to trade my car in. Like, no, no. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, obviously. And so, you know, once an accident like that happens, the insurance starts doing their thing, and the dealership, well, the you know the banks is still doing their thing while I'm trying to talk to them about transferring that total amount finance.
Mm-hmm.
I want to accept it and transfer it. And so while I'm worried about all that, now I got the insurance starting a claim. I got the lady that, you know, the accident was with, hiring an attorney and trying to get money from the insurance. And then I got all these things stacked on top. And like I said, I kind of had to just slow down and get comfortable and not,
Mm-hmm.
you know, not try to worry or think that I'm in the hole somehow because and like I was telling you yesterday, every time I would get worried or think it, I would just walk myself through it and finish the thought. You know, if you have a negative thought, if you just walk yourself through it and get to the end of it,
Exactly.
you realize,
Exactly.
I still win in this situation,
Exactly.
So, that was about a couple months ago, and when they had sent me the bill, I would call them and say, hey, not only did I already send you in a tender of payment,
Hmm.
and I want to use the security interest, but guys, my insurance has already paid off, the whole thing, so like I was telling you, the
Hmm.
perfect situation is if you wreck your car and you have insurance, you would want to be the total loss payee with them. But since I had that contract that I'm working on amending, that I did get the car, yes, but now it's dealing with the complication of, hey, I still need to transfer that balance. I
Hmm.
still need to call and stand on the security interest in the contract, and I need to communicate that so they understand that, hey, you guys got my application, you guys got the security interest. I gave it all to you, and the insurance company that I contract with sent you over $50,000
Exactly.
already,
Exactly.
and so and I'm sitting here without a car.
And
So
for
now,
those that, no, I mean cut you off. For those that's listening to hearing him, when he talked about he's supposed to be the payee, remember, for those that's been following, the payee is the one that receives the funds.
right,
So the problem is the dealership or a company is acting as the payee and collecting his check because remember the car was already paid off. So whatever check paid off the car again was supposed to come to him.
mm-hmm. So that's what we're working on now,
Hmm.
and I'll keep you updated on that, because
For
so far,
sure.
30 days went by, and that first like 900 something dollar payment came up on the email, and the bill came in the mail, and uh, and I was thinking about accepting it and sending it in anyways, but I was like, no, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's just see how this plays out. And then the next 30 days came in, and they had them stacked up on the bill. They had both of them together, stacked up on
Hmm.
top of each other, and I'm guessing that insurance check went through, because I'm getting all these text messages, and now they're saying, "Oh, you owe $200 in September." On like a on $70,000 or something. After all the things that I put, added to the car, it was probably, and so now they say I only owe 200 left. So I know there's so much money floating around in the
Man,
and
that's what I'm saying. It's a public side and a private side. But just think about this. Because a person would hear this and say, "Well, all that happened because of the wreck." Now, did y'all understand that this is supposed to happen regardless
right,
of the wreck?
right,
This is
right,
how it's supposed to have been from the get
yeah,
go. And he was supposed to get the car using credit, and since it was cash value, they're supposed to give him a
right,
check for the amount of the car. They do that by sending him a bill each and every month. All
right,
right, which is very, very important. And one thing that you said that was major, hope y'all write this down. He went on ahead and signed the contract, but he also wrote where he said he's not giving up his right to amend the contract, meaning
yeah,
he's keeping it open. Meaning I might sign it now, but down the line, hey, there may be some things I need to change. One of
yeah.
the things that he's already knows he's gonna change is who the payee is, who's getting these proceeds.
Right, right. And that was in the original amendment that I sent them, that I wanted the proceeds, to all of the insurance and everything, and everything inside the contract. I wanted access to it because, I also want to be included in benefiting from,
Exactly.
the all the negotiable instruments that are being slung around here. Everybody's getting paid, and it says I'm the payee. It's my name that's on
Where
it, but
my check?
yeah. So and a big part of that, and I believe, I, because I'm currently, I'll say, I won't give too much, but I'm currently in arbitration right now. I've been in for a few months. It's a long process, and they've been great with this completely separate thing. And I was able to, like I said, even working and having an income and everything, I was still able to get food stamps because of what you taught. And we've been enjoying that for like 8 or 9 months,
Yes,
and
sir.
it helps.
Ski.
Yeah. And so, yeah, man, we got a lot going on, and it's exciting, and it's nice. If I didn't know this information and I got a brand new car and then wrecked it, man, do you know how stressed I would be.
Man, I would be stressed. Anybody would be
Yeah,
stressed. Imagine getting something brand new and boom. Y'all see how calm he is because he knows, like, man, forget the car. I'm focused on this account. This
yeah,
account has way more funds. Well, I can get a brand new car. The car. We
right.
just glad everybody is okay. We just glad everybody's safe. Now we can focus on what we're supposed to be focused on, which we already manifested. That was the account because it's
Right.
still there. We just don't got the car.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and I'll definitely keep you posted on that because we're gonna get the remedy
Oh
on
yeah.
that account. And I don't, maybe we'll go into arbitration. There is an arbitration agreement in my contract, and I don't mind it. If we have to go to court after that, I don't mind it. But I'm thinking of, really standing on, like you say, you get on the phone, you start talking security interest, they're going to get you on the phone with somebody who knows what the security interest is because
Exactly.
it's all over the contract,
Exactly.
especially the car contracts. The credit card contracts, they're a little bit more sneaky. They are writing some crazy stuff in their contracts, but the car contracts, what I've learned just by looking at all these, credit accounts and everything over the past year, they really do lay it all out for you. They don't call you a buyer. They tell you how much credit's provided on your behalf. I mean, excuse me, they don't call you a borrower. Excuse me, they don't call you a borrower. They call you a buyer. Like,
They call you the buyer. They don't say borrowing because you're not
right.
borrowing.
There's the word borrower or loan is not nowhere near anything on my contract, and it never is. There's just prepayment and repayment
Mm,
and security interest.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And
So
one,
you got to choose. Are you going to repay what's already paid, or are you going to prepay with the security interest?
and you see how you had those options. Again, you can either circle this amount with this down payment, or you can ask for, well, what about the no money down option? All right, because
Yeah,
with that no money down option, it's literally giving you what the Truth in Lending Act is supposed to give you, meaning
yeah,
options, family. Meaning, if I don't have cash, I shouldn't have to give you cash if it's on credit.
yeah, absolutely. And that was the biggest thing too. It's like, hey, I just want to use credit here. No, I get it. I get it. I don't mind the payment. I just want to use credit here. Don't. So I appreciate everything you're doing. Don't sweat the payment. I
Exactly.
thank you for looking out for me, but just let me see what it looks like. So that way, when they bring it in, it's like, oh, I must be approved. Then I'll take zero down. Like, let's go to the finance office and let's. I'm ready to go do that, and they'll be happy, man. They'll be so happy for you to be ready to go to the finance office. Nobody wants to
Exactly.
sit in the finance office, but when
Exactly.
you know this stuff, you will want to go sit in the finance office, and you'll realize if you've read, your contract, or if you have a previous one, you'll realize you know more than that finance guy because that's not what they're
That's
teaching.
not what they teaching. And I'm gonna say this before I let you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you a story. Literally, when they were saying, well, it's gonna be a little bit more. All right, y'all. Literally, I just got into the game of getting grants. Okay, for my business. All right. So also loans for my business because I'm
Mm,
understanding how to transfer in business as well. All right. So literally, I got approved for a loan. Okay. After I got approved for a loan, another company called me because after you start sending the application, all the
yeah.
companies start calling you. All right, so another company called me. I got approved for a certain amount. Another company called me and said, well, we can't give you a loan because that'll be stacking and that's illegal. All right, now I'm new, but I also know how to ask questions. I said, it's illegal for me to get two loans? The guy was like, yes, it's illegal. So when I got off the phone, I looked it up. Okay, y'all, it's not illegal to get multiple loans, family. If anybody tells you it's illegal to get multiple loans, they are lying. So I called them back, family. I called him back and said, hey, I'm going to say his name, Roger. I said, Roger, you told me that it's illegal because Roger was like, you wasted my time. Don't do that again. And Roger was really talking to me like, yeah, but I didn't get, too crazy. I was like, because I thought I did something wrong. I was like, oh, snap, am I doing something illegal? Even though I know I'm not doing illegal, but I just wanted to go read before I had that debate with him. So I called him back and said, hey, Roger, I just did my research. You told me it was illegal if I was stacking loans. Okay. Come to find out, it's not illegal. It's just an extra 10%
Then he said, "Oh yeah, well it's not illegal. It's just a extra 10% on the overall amount." I said, "So let me get this straight. You just told me that it's illegal. Now you're telling me no, it's just an extra rate that I'm gonna have to pay." And I said, "Roger, I'm here to do business, man. You think I'm gonna let a small 10% stop me from stacking?
Right.
Let's stack, Roger." And Roger was able to get me approved for a loan.
Right. Okay. That's
Literally.
cool, man. Yeah. And are you talking about your business for
My
your business?
business, I like business loan, like just for my business, because there's so many grants and things that's going out
Yeah.
for folks that have 2 years in business. They don't
Really?
care how much you make, family. It's not what it's about. It's do you have a business? Do you have a business account?
Right on.
That's all they really caring about. But my business does great. All right. So a lot of companies they want to do business with me. All right. But I was just told like, oh, you can't stack that. So you leave. I'm like, what the hell? Because I'm here to do business. If I'm gonna get loans, I'm a boom, boom, boom. Let's go because we can prepay them
Right.
back. All right, literally, I know I can prepay them back, so I'm not worrying about no interest fee. I'm not worried about no extra 10%, 20%. Let's
Right.
do it. So as
Right.
soon as I said that, because that let me know they're more worried about us having to make extra payments. Okay, like literally worried about us saying, "Well, I'm trying to hold y'all." And a lot of times we gotta tell them, "Y'all stop worrying." Dealerships stop
Like
worrying about that. Stop worrying about extra
Roger,
payments.
you should be happy to see me, Roger. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm here to do business, right? Whatever it takes to get this deal through, I'm okay with the payments. Let's go.
Yeah. Cool stuff, man. And I just started a marketing agency this year, just for small businesses, help them work their Facebook and Instagram meta ads and doing the business
Mm.
manager for them.
You
So
mind if they tap in with you? You mind if
absolutely,
they?
yeah, y'all could if you need help with stuff like that, just send me a DM and we can at least start talking about it. You can get self-educated on it, even if you don't want to give your money to me or anybody else. But yeah, sure.
Tap in with them, family.
And
Tap
that's
in.
the thing, learning this consumer law stuff. It hasn't slowed me down with trying to make money, but I'm not going out and looking for a job, right? I'm
Mhm.
not looking for an extra job, But if I can now, I'm learning these taxes. If I can open up a business and start benefiting just from having businesses,
Man,
and I'll, with the family business, I'll have to go in on those grants you're talking about because
man,
we business for a few years. So go ahead and take advantage of that too, because I mean I know there's a lot of that going
man.
on.
Y'all, if y'all, I'll say this: go, cause I got folks that just send me things. They was like, all of these corporations giving 50K grants. They have to give it to small business. It's not an option, family. They have to. So long as your business is structured, meaning you have 2 years. You probably don't even have to have that. I'm just giving you what I gave them. Gave them 2 years of business. Let them know I was in 2 years of business. I haven't even did my business taxes yet, y'all. So I was able to get a grant without even doing my business taxes yet. Okay, you just gotta actually have a business bank account. You gotta make sure you have all meaning your EIN letter. You gotta have all those documents because those is the one thing they did ask me for. But there are some companies out there that do no doc loans, meaning they're not really asking for. They just want you to know if you got a business bank account and boom, they need someone to put the money in because once the money in, they can go in and write off and say, okay, we did business with XYZ.
Dang,
We sent them that. Here's our write off.
that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
But
That'd
appreciate
be,
you, Sean. But y'all
yes,
tap
sir.
in with them. If y'all can't tap in with them, definitely to get some business information on the middle on that side. Okay. All right. Me myself, I'm learning as well, family.
You have,
Because that's a whole nother world, and
yeah.
we must understand, family. There's so much free money out here for us to use for our benefits. Okay. Again, if you ever get in a situation of a company asking you, well, what are you using these funds for? Okay. You got to understand, family. You can't say things like, well, I want to go pay all my bills. Well, I want to go get a family. Say things like, hey, I want to expand. It's for expansion. Okay. I have certain systems I want to implement, and I can't do that right now with my current cash
Right.
flow. Okay, literally, you can like get creative, family. And again, if you can't get creative, start following some professional business page. As y'all see, the folks that I follow on my page, there's two guys that I specifically follow. Um, One talks about taxes. One talks about just business structure. Period. S corps, C corps, LLCs. Just getting that information, family, is definitely going to help you when you really start moving. Because as y'all know, we're supposed to be creating people, meaning EINs, and doing business amongst those EINs, meaning that person is supposed to be doing business with that person, and it's all supposed to be ran under a holding company. The holding company under a
Mm,
trust company. You see what I'm saying? So, family, this is what the wealthy is doing. All right, it's not a secret. It's just being due diligent and actually asking the right questions.
that's right. And
Okay,
that is something on my radar now, man. Learning the trust,
man,
getting a holding company, and starting your LLCs. Ooh wee.
man.
I appreciate. I'm gonna let you have
Appreciate
your
you, man.
have
Appreciate
your
you.
floor back, man. Thank you so much, and we'll stay tapped in.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot you a DM.
All righty.
I appreciate you, Sean.
Yes,
Peace
sir.
and love. Oh yeah, we can turn these comments back on. Hold on. All right. So, family, as you can see, well spoken.